can't seem to see these bad guys anywhere. They must be using stealth. I'll keep looking. Hola, amigos, it's Will here from Will's Custom Figures, coming at you today with a big bad breakdown of none other than, you guessed it, Metal Gear Solid Snake. So guys, sit back and relax while I took you through how and why I made this guy and everything else in between. And firstly, to address the elephant in the room, this is not a Marvel Legends breakdown. This is not a breakdown from anything wrestling related or anything else. This is a G.I Joe figure. And man, it has been amazing to use to customize with. And here we go, guys, back with you here on Will's Custom Figures. And just to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown then. So I'm going to take you back to 1998. And one of my friends, Laura, she approached me. Hey, Will, PlayStation 1. I've got a game if you want to play. It's called Metal Gear Solid. And I was like, I don't know, Laura, because I'm not that into driving games. That is how I wanted to open this video review here, because it takes me back to when I was just 10 years old. And thinking back to my youth, I've got such nostalgia for Solid Snake and for the Metal Gear Solid 1. And of course, the PlayStation 1 as well. Who hasn't? And this process, the details, everything else behind it, I'll talk you through it. There's lots and lots of went into this, but I want to give a big shout out, firstly, to G.I Joe and to Hasbro, while I bring in Ultron as a little bit of a size comparison. Bad guy, Snake could take down. But the reason I wanted to give a huge amount of credit to Hasbro is because G.I Joe is absolutely killing it. I have never been more impressed at the quality of figures and the accessories that they produce. Now, I am not a G.I Joe collector. And the reason for that is just because there's only so much size you can have. I've got DC, I've got Marvel, I've got wrestling, I've got horror stuff, you know, by NECA and my own customs. I just don't necessarily have the space to collect everything. But G.I Joe, on the odd occasion where I've had them, I've had Flint, I've had, of course, Snake Eyes, I've had so many different characters from there, like Firefly. This is actually built using the Firefly base from G.I Joe. They've excelled themselves. The accessories, the details, like if they could move the accessories, the details and the realism over to Marvel Legends, they would be making an absolute fortune. I'm going to bring in, God bless him, here he is, good old Brucey Willis, and best of luck to him and his family with all the health troubles he's been going through with aphasia. I hope that he is, what's the best word for it, as coping as best that he can, and his family are as well. So I wanted to have a couple of different comparisons here. I'm just going to adjust the camera slightly because I cut Bruce's head off there. As you can see, like these three, however I decide to display Snake, I'm not sure if I'm going to put him in my Marvel, my DC, my horror, my movie collection. So that's why I wanted to show a variety of different things here, just to show you, you know, what sort of ideas have been going through my head when creating this guy. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos of Bruce Willis, and of course of Wesley Snipes' Blade, then please check them out. And I'm going to bring in two ninjas now. Of course, the Marvel Legends. Is it the first ninja, fifth ninja, something like that? And yeah, of course, here we have one of his G.I Joe counterparts. Now, I don't actually follow G.I Joe very closely. Is it Snake Eyes? I believe it is, but I absolutely love it. And I use that with my white Elektra from the Daredevil 3-pack. Now, innovative game. Lots of great memories, great weapons. As you can see, like look at all the different weapons on this guy. He's got a knife in his forearm. He's got a gun down here that you can unholster. He's got, I guess these are like flashbangs. Of course, he uses flashbangs in the games. Grenades. He's got everything that I want from a Solid Snake, and the color scheme more than anything. Good God, like could it be any more perfect? It's just been laid out to do a fantastic custom Solid Snake. I saw it and I had to buy it instantly. Now, the head sculpt was actually from eBay. It was not painted. I've painted that all myself. I have done casts of that head sculpt. So if anyone wants one, you can just hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or here on YouTube. I'd be more than happy to do you a head cast. And I'm going to talk you through now about how I actually went around making this guy. As mentioned, I used the G.I Joe classified Firefly figure, and great work again to Hasbro. And it's not 100% accurate. I'm going to just pause here, zoom in, do a bit of a school photo, nice and up and close, and talk you through the specific details and labour I had to go through to make this look like my perfect, ideal Solid Snake. Time to smile, Snake. School photo time. I don't smile. And do you know what? What a great 3D head sculpt this is. Couple of little details I've added in there. As you can see, I've used G.I Joe paints as well as Citadel flesh colours to paint all the facial features. And big shout out to inspiration for me, Phoenix Force Creations. He, as a customizer, has mentioned in his comments when I've commented about the Procreate putty and some of the painting techniques that he's used. And as you can see at the back here, the bandana, there was a bandana that was sent with it and it completely just cracked in the post. And I wanted to cast it out of resin and out of silicone and then make some resin molds as well. So that kind of just completely cracked off. So what I use here is Procreate putty on the back. And for anyone that hasn't used it, I've mentioned it a lot in my videos, and you can just move this thing around and it won't come off. It's really, really good, really, really versatile, and I've just super glued it in place. Now, I don't know if you can see there, but of course he has the eye patch. Now, this isn't my Metal Gear Solid 1 version of Snake. This is kind of like an amalgamation of multiple different versions. I really want to do the scuba diving gear version at the very start of the original game. So yeah, stay tuned and you'll probably see that coming up very, very soon. I absolutely love that scene. I was playing it with my son recently. But the eye patch, he gets later on into some of the later games. And I'm going to actually, I've made a resin sculpt of it because I want to remove the eye patch. I want to chisel it out, drill it out, and then sculpt an eye, similar to how I've done with the Marvel Select Robot Hulk. I ended up sculpting and then casting the head on that because I really didn't like the robotic version too much. Now, one thing to note, I had to repaint the arm here because you can see a very slight bit of red coming through there. Of course, that is the G.I Joe symbols that are on there. And other than that, I have done nothing. Look at the details on this, like the posability. That's why I wanted to have a nice little pose at the very beginning. Man, the colours, everything. This guy just pops. Like, this is a regular figure. And the Bone Breaker, just as an example, if I think to Ursa, the builder figures that we're paying a lot of money for, even Puff Adder and some of the other characters that have been released by Hasbro Marvel team recently, man, there is zero colour on them. Zero. And this is the amount of colour that comes with a G.I. Joe regular figure in Firefly. Very, very cool. Now, it's not 100% accurate to the original game, as I mentioned, and I'm very excited, actually. I'm seriously, seriously excited for who I'm going to make next. Meryl, Revolver Ocelot, Sniper Wolf, Psycho Mantis. Who would you suggest? And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information here I'm very excited for. I am going to be working on, and I have been working on already, a Lara Croft Tomb Raider figure. And I want to give a big shout out to my good friend Stuart for the inspiration behind that, because that guy is an absolute legend and he's got some really, really good ideas using Squirrel Girl base. And I'm very, very excited to show you that. Now, just a little bit of posability. I'm not going to go through it because anyone that knows G.I. Joe knows the kind of articulation that you get. But this gun here, I'm not sure specifically what type of gun this is, but it looks similar to the old FAMAS from the game. As I mentioned earlier, he has the knife here that you can pull. And I can just see now him sneaking up and going up behind someone. And then getting him and choking him out on the game. Like, oh God, I used to do that all the time. Getting the dog tags on the second game with Raiden. And the head literally just pops on and off. So for anyone that wants to make it, bam. It's not even a ball peg inside. It's just a nice big hole and it perfectly fits on there. Is the head slightly small? I'd say potentially yes. Does that deter me from using it? Absolutely not. And I'm extremely happy with how it's turned out. Now, just a little story I have to tell you. I would not be happy if I didn't tell you this figure. I didn't tell you this story, sorry, about my memories of Solid Snake. My son, I was dropping him back home the other day and we were discussing Sniper Wolf. We were discussing all the different things like climbing in the box and going through the tunnels just before you reach Sniper Wolf with Meryl, and how to get the wolves to pee on you so you could get through that area on the PlayStation 1 uninjured and undamaged. Man, talk about great innovation on that game. Oh, it takes me right back. And as you can see with all the different accessories and everything, the handgun in the pocket and everything else, this just looks like a kitted out Solid Snake. Whether or not it's accurate or not, I'm not too bothered. But man, I love telling my son that story and he was absolutely laughing his socks off. We had to watch it on YouTube, and I'd encourage anyone that's either not seen it or hasn't played it for a while to check out that video on YouTube of Sniper Wolf's Wolf Lair and the win on the box cheat, or I guess glitch, or whatever it was, little fun Easter egg that was popped in the original game. And I'm excited for Snake Eater, the new Metal Gear game, to be coming out very, very soon. The remake of the original for the PS2, I think it was. I absolutely can't wait for that. And I am a collector of everything that I enjoy and that makes me feel nostalgic and happy. And do you know what? Solid Snake makes me feel very, very Solid Snake makes me feel very, very nostalgic and very, very happy. And I had to bring in the other G.I Joe figure here in the ninja, and of course the other ninja from Marvel, because man, there's so many ninjas and bad guys that Solid Snake fights over the years, and I just wanted to end with these guys being here because, as you can see, he scales really, really well with whoever you're going to put in front of him. Now, I don't know what you guys think where I should display him. Let me know in the comment section below. Where would you display him? And of course, if you want one of these in your collection, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to work on another Solid Snake figure for anybody, for any of you guys out there that are interested. Now, last things, my final thoughts. Is this perfect? No. How would I rate it? For me, I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10. There's something specific. I'd like an unmasked, a non-eye patched version, and that's something that I will be working on. And I'd probably like to spend a little bit more time touching up some of the grenades and things with and the laces and things with the smaller details that you look to see in a custom figure. But for now, I'm really, really happy. If I go on to do those things, I'll film another video. Now, please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. And of course, it wouldn't be a Will's Custom Figures video unless I said adios, or because it's a special occasion and I'm doing my my Snake video review. I'm going to kill Snake, and then we're going to hear the classic Snake, Snake, Snake.